from the production side, US gas production is doing very well. In fact, of course, in the US, gas production is increasingly a beneficiary of the light tight oil revolution. In most light tight oil plays, what they actually produce is a combination of, let's say, 75% oil, 25% gas. And at the current oil prices, the oil component is paying for the project. The gas is essentially an almost free byproduct. And there's an emerging problem with gas flaring.
Herein lies the issue. There's so much product in the States, there's so much demand in Asia, there's so much demand in Europe as well, but there is no global benchmark. It's not like the oil market. In fact, they price a little bit off the oil markets as well. So the regional disparities in gas are absolutely enormous. But I talked about the growth story, the demand story. It is seen as the low-carbon hydrocarbon of choice. You with me, everybody? It's the real fuel for the 21st century, according to the energy industry, the traditional energy industry. So it seems obvious, doesn't it? Invest, invest, invest. Invest in product, invest in LNG terminals, and get that product out to China. But what if the Chinese develop a way of unlocking their own geology and becoming more self-sufficient? Well, that ain't going to be the case anytime soon. Their growth rate of imports is seen up to 45% from the high 39% area they're roughly in now over the next few years as well. But the question is, can you get long-term contracts with the Chinese, long-term contracts to make the investment, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in the United States or whether you're in the Middle East? And I spoke to the CEO of the biggest LNG exporter on the planet at the moment. That's Qatar Petroleum. And the gentleman I spoke to was the CEO, Saad Sherida, al-Kaabi, and we spoke about investment. Let's listen in.
We ourselves are investing in the US and looking to invest in the US. We have a very big terminal there with ExxonMobil that we're contemplating, taking a final investment decision on by, sometime early next year. And I think one of the things that could be damaging to the LNG industry in the US is the taxes. That could be levied on them by China or others. And I think it needs to be looked at carefully, because I don't think it's to the benefit of the oil and gas industry for having politics and taxation enter into these. It could be serving for Qatar to have us more competitive in comparison to the US when some of the countries put taxes on US LNG. But I don't think long term it's good for the market to have politics and to have taxation in a very important basic requirement for humanity, which is energy.
But the president, who's been a great supporter of various hydrocarbons, and of course looking back at coal as well, but we'll come to that maybe in a moment, do you think his trade policies are negating potentially the benefits that the industry's had from his backing of hydrocarbons? Yeah,
the trade policy, I'm not, I don't want to get into that because that's not really my area, but what I am talking about is leaving the oil and gas sector out of this trade discussion would be beneficial for the LNG industry in the US to improve the LNG industry in the US and have it grow. Otherwise, I think that will impede growth in the American LNG industry, which could be serving Qatar and Australia and others, but I don't think that's a wise thing to do for the long term. The long term, we need everybody to be on equal footing and to have real economies basically compete in the oil and gas.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.